6. 99 ain't good enough, but we keep it 100.
Welcome back.
They stacking.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Our subscribers are slowed down a little bit. We need y'all to ante up, man. A lot of people been giving us some great feedback on what they want to hear, things of that nature. So we want to get those subscribers up to 1K, and then we got a special treat for our 1,000 subscriber. But today's topic on 99 Ain't Good Enough, I want to welcome the panel. Coach Jones to my left.
Boom.
Mr. Dakaret Duncan to my right, a.k.a. Mr. Black Ferris Bueller,
A.K.A.
Mr. High Paul,
A.K.A.
Mr. 33606.
I like it.
Yes,
I like
sir.
it a lot.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And myself, Mr. Mario Lovett.
Who?
Khadijah Lovett Ale, actually.
Who? A.K.A.
A.k.a. Exit 42.
Silver throat.
AKA Silver Throat. They trying to get it a stick. Silver Throat. It's great to be back. This is a topic that's been hot over the years, and I welcome the challenge to be able to touch on it, seeing the history of sports. But we're going to touch on then versus now. No sport in particular, but we're going to get into an array of sports and talk about it. It's been a high level of hypocrisy go on about this when you look at
Yes, it does.
Basketball court, football field, and tennis. Then versus now. And I want to start it by saying, Mr. Duncan.
Yes, sir.
When you say then versus now, you being from the then.
I'm from the then, yes.
Myself included.
Do it.
Yes.
Let's say it on your license.
Are you more then?
Huh?
Are you more on the side of then than now? And if so, why?
That's a good question. You stumped me out the gate.
See, that's what I plan to do.
Yes, sir.
That's why I'm here.
Which
Yes,
side?
sir.
I got to challenge you.
Come on, young fella.
That's a good question. Can I say I'm kind of in the middle? Can I straddle the fence a little bit?
The only way you can say you're in the middle because there's not enough time that has elapsed to say we in the now.
Right. I'm going to just get to it. I don't like how these old heads be hating on the young boys. I'm going to just put it out there.
And I'm gonna agree with you.
Right.
But rightfully so. You know why I think the old heads and whoever that may be, because we've heard quotes and we've seen things in regards to the old heads. You know why I think it's an immense amount of hating where it's poured onto these young guys?
The money that's involved?
The economics of it.
No question. They wasn't getting paid like that.
The money. So but it's also too though. Let's look at. Lyman 30 years ago was 220 pounds.
Yeah, if you were 280, you were huge.
Now you're 350.
Yeah, high school is 280.
Yeah, high school.
300.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Kids benching 300 pounds in high school is not a big deal.
No.
But the hating proponent for me is where I just get like, wow, you really just said that? Like I commend every guy that's played at the highest level and made money and done it for a living, and there's 60% injuries in the midst of that.
Right.
But when you can say with conviction that in the 1990s as a basketball player, you're going to just talk about how much better than you are than a player in 2015.
I think some of it's jealousy, some of it's money.
That's a
It's
word I was
about
trying to avoid.
Yeah, I know. It's about attention. And then sometimes you just feeling like, man, they giving this dude all this money and I would have mopped the floor with him. That's how they feel.
Which might be true.
It might be, but we got no way of proving it.
Right.
We definitely have no way of proving
Right.
it, but we know every high-level athlete, we got human beings that just have egos. So
Yeah.
if
That's
you're
bottom
making
line.
millions of dollars, what you expect? You know what I mean? The best
True.
rapper gonna think he the best rapper, and rightfully so.
Right.
Best basketball player gonna think he this, that, and other. Whatever it may be. But let's just break down the anatomy of it. There's no way you can believe in your heart and talk reckless as a wingman in 1990 and saying, okay, I dominated the game for this amount of time, but then you look at a guy like LBJ. And guys back then was 6'8", 6'9", 205, 210.
The best description that I've heard of LeBron James is he's slightly bigger than Karl Malone and he's faster than Jason Kidd. So that should put it in perspective.
Which is crazy.
With the basketball, he's bigger than Karl Malone. Or let's just say him and Karl Malone the same size.
Yeah.
But he's just as fast as Jason Kidd with the basketball.
Listen, man, with the technology, how everything is, back in the day, they might have been tougher.
Right. Okay.
bringing a pure game, all of that. Man, these dudes much bigger, faster, and stronger.
They're
now.
unreal now.
And
It's
yeah,
different.
yeah, and some of them skilled to
It's
the T.
different.
You know what I mean? But now, we're gonna stay football right now. But in a minute, when I'm gonna tell you something, man. I remember watching the ABA. I don't know if did y'all ever get into watching the
I
ABA?
want to see highlights.
The red, white, and blue ball.
Yeah, I want to see highlights.
Listen, man, I laugh sometimes when they talking about. Ooh, I'll probably get.
You got to be careful right now because I know where you're going.
You know what?
You got to relax.
You gotta let him go.
I'm reeling my OG.
You gotta let him go.
All right, go ahead, OG.
When they talk about who the greatest shooter of all time, it ain't Steph Curry, bro. It's a lot of dudes out there shoot like Steph Curry. The difference is,
No film.
no, they got film. The difference is they didn't shoot as deep. He the best deep shooter,
Yeah.
okay? But they had dudes that shoot this three-point line, could stroke it, but they didn't shoot 15 threes a game. You might shoot 3 or 4, and that's because you was down and y'all trying to close the gap.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They hard shooting 15, 18 threes in a game. They didn't shoot that many. You see what I'm saying? So all them records gonna get blown out the water, without a doubt. But now, if you take it back to football, same thing with passing. All them passing records finna get blown out the water.
without
It's
a doubt.
changed.
Yes.
Things have changed, so ain't no need to hate on the young dudes.
Right.
Ain't no need the young dude talking about, oh, well, I do the man. Everybody got their own time. Do your thing, bro.
Right.
Because that sun gonna go down on all y'all.
I think there are more guys that are tailor made in today's game for yesterday's game than yesterday's game for today's game.
Now, I'm 100 with you on that.
I do believe that.
Yes, sir.
Say-
Well, they more
say
versatile
that
now.
again, Reed.
There are more guys that are more tailor made to go compete at a high level
Absolutely.
in yesterday's game than vice
Yeah.
versa.
Because
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you a question. Does Charles Oakley have a place in today's NBA?
Yes. Not the same role he did in yesterday's NBA.
As a
What about
goon?
Muggsy Bogues? Can Muggsy Bogues play in today's NBA?
Now that one is tough.
He can't shoot.
No. That's a tough one.
Well, see, it's funny. They always, you just gave 2. They'll always say, oh, well, can LeBron, can you? Of course, them dudes can. We're talking about some of the best.
Imagine dropping LeBron in 1978, the year I was born.
They'll think
foolishness.
They'll think he was
You kidding me?
They'll think he was an alien.
Right.
They'll be like, "Oh no, big fella, you gotta get on the block." He'll be like, "Oh no, this be out here."
Now, see what you just hit on?
Right.
That's how different things were. I remember my partner Akins tell me one time when he was up at BCC. I remember George McLeod played for the Pacers.
From Daytona Beach.
Yeah, from Daytona Beach. He said they were playing in Bethune Gym. He said McLeod walked in. You know, McLeod what? 6,
6'6", 7". He
yeah.
was a big boy.
Okay, so McLeod walked in. They playing pickup. McLeod out there handling the ball, shooting it. My man say, man, get your big ass down on the block. He was like, I'm a guard, man.
Right.
He
I
said, a
heard that all my
guard.
life.
Yeah,
Right.
he said, a guard. You know what I mean?
So that's
So
kinda-
in them times, they were making them like that. Now they taking them big dudes and say, hey, man, step out there, work on your handle.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Right.
But then that's why the post player disappeared too.
It's very, very interesting to watch guys at a high level. And I'm just talking about the athleticism and the science piece of it. We're gonna get away from basketball a little bit because I like take somebody like Pete Sampras and Andre Agassi versus Roger Federer right now.
Yeah.
Roger Federer is 6'3", maybe.
Yeah, that's
Like, make more money than any athlete in the world. He's the highest paid athlete in the world. I mean, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Can we take one of my favorite running backs to watch, and Eric Dickerson?
Ooh, yeah.
Oh yeah, he.
You know what I'm saying? And Barry Snap. But then now you're looking at a different, because now we're talking about feet, we're talking about power, we're
I
talking
think
about shifting.
I think that might be the exception to the rule.
that's what I'm about to. Right.
'Cause I don't. I think the value isn't placed on a running back
Right.
now. So I definitely think like
But that's
Eric
why-
Dickerson could play now.
Right, that's what I was about to say. Like
And you can't even hit
that
nobody.
Position,
Yeah.
In that position, we that's the closest thing that we can say then versus now. Where we can say, okay, that might be more comparable
what-
than any other sport. We look at quarterbacks from yesterday.
You know-
what I'm saying? That's comparable on the football side.
We can dance over the golf. You said them dudes are a lot bigger than they used to be.
Oh, no doubt.
They're a lot thicker. They
Tiger
lift.
Woods
they do
probably
all
like
that.
6'3", 6'4".
Yeah.
Like people think he a small guy. He
Yeah.
can bench press over 300 pounds.
And they have an off course, training for those guys.
Yes.
Now. When yesterday they weren't doing that.
So now, then versus now, is it really fair because the training's so different?
It is fair.
Yeah, because it was fair
It was
in the sense of 70s versus 90s. You know, in the late 90s, people started to eat a little bit better. You know, hot tub, cold tub. Jones, you know, in the 70s, that was all cocaine, beer,
Yeah.
liquor. They was just out there
They were just
hooping.
smoking cigarettes, everything.
Right.
Yeah.
And what makes it fair is because everybody have the same option to do what they supposed to do, put the right stuff in your body.
Right.
You know, go run hills. You know what I mean? Learn how to the balance, and get stronger, and stabilize your core and all that.
I
But
tell
it's
you-
like it's unfair when you are 6'8"
Yeah.
versus being 5'10". But like every guy, like I was watching Blake Griffin last night. Have you seen the transition of his game?
It's
No, I
amazing.
haven't seen him this year.
Oh,
I
my
couldn't
God.
believe that was him shooting out there doing what he was
Blake
doing.
Griffin is like a legitimate 6'10", like 270.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing about him, I remember when he first came in the league, he was dunking everything. So I ain't see him, and then somebody was like, "Oh, he hitting the 3-ball now." And I was
Yeah.
like,
Hitting it at an unbelievable level.
"Yeah, he looks like a
Dribble.
totally
good,
different.
too.
He looks like a totally different player
Totally
from like
different player.
year 2 to
Yeah.
now.
Oh,
Totally
man, it's
different."
unreal. But just watching, when you see somebody with that size, that girth, that balance, that grace, like move like that shouldn't even be anatomically possible.
No, it's crazy looking.
We wouldn't see that
No.
in the 70s, in the 60s, in the 80s.
But at the same time, in that time, they weren't trained or built to play that way too.
no doubt.
You know, like we were saying, that big, you going a certain position, that's where you going.
Right.
Right.
Now, from the time they told us, I said, no, you finna do what the guards do. Ain't nobody saying you a post. So it's got a lot to do with how you was trained, what you were taught, where you were put at. You know what I mean? And position wise.
It's hard to be from one era and then look at the full layout of it and
Yeah.
say, okay, I'm on this side and I am that. Because when you look at the skill set of guys nowadays, the physicality of it,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, the IQ versus yesterday, it's like we reaching. Like we can name 15
40.
guys. Like, you know what I'm saying?
40 guys that
Like-
could have played. And I'm gonna say this about the 90s.
Like,
I'm gonna go ahead and keep it real. We keep it 100 here.
you got to keep it a Honda.
Not 99 ain't enough.
Jones was an adult in the 90s. Rio was an adult in the 90s. I watched the NBA in the 90s. That was horrible basketball. If you watch all these throwback games, when Reggie hit the
There's a lot of fouling going on.
a lot of fouling,
Grabbing.
the
Well,
score is 84 to 79.
Nah.
I can't say
Like-
it's horrible.
That was bad
I'm gonna
basketball.
tell you
It is
something.
horrible.
I do an example sometime with my
Today
guys.
horrible.
Only it's not as horrible because it's more entertaining because guys are so gifted.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you what I do an example with my guys sometime. I tell them, then hand check, bro, you couldn't go nowhere. If I can hand check you, I say I will use your hips as a steering wheel
Right.
and direct you where I want you to go.
Derek
you
Harper,
try to
he was
try
the
to
best
turn the
at it.
corner.
He was the best.
You going this way trying to turn. I'm gonna hit you on this hip right here. And unless you got a strong core, that's gonna turn you a little bit. It's gonna slow you down. You can't go around the corner. So the rules was different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of things different, man. I'm just kind of like, man, let the young fellas do what they do. I'm like you on. The game ain't really. It's not the game I grew up loving.
Right.
But hey, things different, man.
So this is what I take from the 90s basketball. And I think me and Mario talked about this one
no,
time.
that's when what's that dude name that was in the 90s?
I don't know. You tell me.
Him J, fade away perfect. MJ,
I don't want to get
fade
y'all.
away perfect.
I don't want to get y'all started because that's another show.
Oh, we
but-
dressing up in tuxedos for that show. And there's gonna be plenty of libations. going on.
I'm just gonna sit and listen to y'all.
Well, I mean,
Wait, let me make this point real. This is what I find very funny about the late 80s, early 90s. Coach Jones is old enough to remember Kelly Tripucka,
Yeah,
him and Isaiah.
them dudes gone now.
Him and Isaiah were rookies in the
That kinda
backcourt, made it to the All-Star game. So people remember the bad boy Pistons. Jones, you old enough to remember when the Pistons went up and down.
Yes, sir.
And tried to outscore you.
Yes, sir.
So this is what I find interesting about the league being a copycat league. Everybody took from the bad boy Pistons. We go wear black shoes. We go foul hard. We go be menacing. We go shave our
Miami,
heads.
New York, they all play that way.
But that year that the Pistons beat the Blazers in the finals, they averaged 115. Nobody took the offensive stuff that they was doing.
Mm-hmm.
They took we just gonna be menacing and foul. Nobody took the offensive stuff. Those were great offensive teams.
Yeah, they can score that rock.
They took everything from the bad boy Pistons except the offensive stuff.
What?
now can we look at two things. We then versus now because we're basketball savants. We're going to obviously speak more on basketball than any other
Right.
sport. But can we remove the steroid era from baseball and say then versus now?
No, we can't remove the steroid era.
So is that comparable in regards to the athletic prowess of baseball athletes to know what's going on? And I know now our baseball players more skilled. Are they
They're
better?
You mean now?
Now.
I don't watch a lot of baseball, but now if you telling me the steroids can help out with my hand-eye coordination
No, it can't.
and help me hit the ball, sign me up if that's what steroids do.
So we don't prognosticate.
You know what I'm saying?
We
So,
don't
like-
prognosticate the best baseball player of all time coming out of this era. Is what you're saying?
I mean, it's gonna be tough to top Barry Bonds.
Before
That's gonna be tough to do
well, before Barry was doing the Royals, he was the man.
in
No,
Pittsburgh.
but,
Yeah.
but that's what I'm saying. So we say then versus now. I think the only thing we can kind of see
John, just for allegedly before Bonds started doing the Royals,
Yeah,
we don't
allegedly.
want this to get around.
I
We
got
get
you.
sued
allegedly.
because everything's been alleged at
Yeah,
this
everything
point.
has been alleged. But I think when we look at the major three sports, and we can now the physicality in the NHL is different.
Oh
The
yeah,
way they speed, the way they slide on them skates and hitting people.
Some big dudes too.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's a
on,
fact.
On the football field, we know guys are bigger, stronger, and faster. But the skill set, piece of it, it's still guys from the 90s. I think we can, but we ain't see a Calvin Johnson in the 90s though.
Yeah, we saw Randy Moss.
Like late 90s.
Yeah, 98.
Yeah, 98. 90.
So Randy Moss.
What's your boy used to play for the Phillies? Not Phillies. Harold Carmichael.
I was just from Jacksonville.
Yeah.
We had what was my boy in Detroit, Herman Moore.
Herman Moore.
Remember Moore? He was tough.
Herman
Yeah,
Moore.
had some big receivers.
Herman Moore. I mean, but the domination of those, but those, Randy Moss and Calvin Johnson, those are the elite guys.
Well, like you said to me one time when we were talking about a superstar, we talking about something different.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Now, if you talking about domination, and I love me some Megatron, you better go back and look up the most numbers.
Or the most numbers different.
That was domination.
Yeah, that's different.
Like, I think he went double-digit touchdowns his rookie year. He went.
But see, but when we talk about it, let's just say, and for me, I'm just thinking about it from a thesis standpoint. If I had to write a thesis on then versus now, it's a lot of reference points and things that are going through my head. But it would be hard for me to not acknowledge. I think two of the greatest athletes of all time that we've seen was from the then, which would be Bo Jackson and Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
Now, what guys right now that not saying they couldn't do it because they had, but what guys that we can say we know do that? We know LeBron is an uber athlete, like
Yeah,
he's
well-
an all-American receiver and a basketball player at the same time.
Well, now you got to be careful now because in this day and age, ain't a lot of double duty. It's specialization now. So
Right,
now has that
right,
taken
right.
away
It
the next Bo and the next Dion?
And nobody ever mentions Brian Jordan played for the
Yeah.
Falcons
Not bad.
Yeah.
and the
And
Braves.
baseball.
Nobody mentions Brian
You're right.
Jordan.
You're right.
Yeah, but
and did it for a long time.
yeah.
Did it for a long time. I mean, that's a
You say,
tough.
are you saying are you saying could anybody do it?
No, I know there are guys that can do it, but guys
I think Russell Wilson could do both.
And Kyler Murray.
And obviously Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray.
I think the baseball guys
Where I
can do
really get stuck with the then versus now is obviously then in some of them things I was younger and watching it then and I was in the minute of it then.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then so now I'm fortunate enough to still be here and getting a little bit of look in this time. And I'm saying I always use the phrase and I think about you BFS. They're just bigger, faster, and stronger now.
Right.
it without a doubt.
You know what I mean? Now, does that make them better? I ain't so sure.
I mean, by definition, I want a bigger, faster, stronger, more, or a car,
Yeah.
a truck.
Yes.
You know, it's kind of the LeBron argument. They'd be like, nah, he's just a better all-around player than Mike. I want a more that can do the zero turn and everything as
Yeah.
opposed to more that can just do one thing. So
Yeah.
I think by definition, bigger, faster, stronger is better.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of torn on the subject.
They talk about scores. I mean, they ain't scored. Man, the Iceman could put that thing down. And that cat could use that backboard 100 ways a Sunday, man.
Ice was tough.
You see what I'm saying? Nah, and he was thin, real thin, So now you get that dude now with the training, doing all that. Plus he has some drug problems.
He has some drug problems.
You know, and so now we talking about a whole nother kind of athlete.
Yeah.
But let's. I mean, all of us, you know, from the then, like we said. But if we made it fun and we said, give me 5 guys post 2000, give me 5 guys, or let's just 5 guys pre 2000, and let's use basketball, right? 5 guys pre 2000. Let's just say 70 from 70 to 2000 to 20 from 2000 to now, or 80 to 2000 to 20. Give me 5 and match them up.
That's tough.
That's a tough one.
That's a tough one.
It's a tough one. Cause I mean it's somebody gonna miss out. Whether you mention a Curry, whether you mention LeBron, obviously LeBron, you got Kobe.
That's a good one.
You know what I mean? You're like that's
Jones, who especially with the day basketball is played now.
Yeah.
And let's be honest and let's be fair to the argument. I think a lot of times when these conversations are had, people don't really pour into the pot how much the game has changed.
It has.
Golf has changed.
All of it's changed.
Like football has changed.
Tennis, man, the rackets, golf, the clubs,
speed, the balls.
I'm sitting here going through my guards, and I'm like, well, I want to go small, so I could go like Kevin Johnson or Isaiah. Like whenever I see these teams and I see Magic on them, I laugh because Magic can't guard. No. So you 6'9", but what good is it? You can't guard. So.
There's so many variables that go into it. So many things. I mean, if you want to do it, if you want to try to be fair across the board. Now, here's something else too. I'm gonna take then.
I'm glad. I was just about to say that, Coach. I'm glad somebody stepped up because I don't think we need to be neutral on this. You got to choose a side.
I'm gonna take then, but how much of that?
You got to choose a side. Now.
How much that got to do with I was growing up then versus now. And I am an old head looking at him and saying, man, this ain't the same game. I remember, it's entertaining. It's more entertaining because I'm looking at, man, that dude, look how that dude jumped. Look how far he shot. It ain't entertaining to me in terms of how the game played. So I'm a then guy.
Something I heard somebody say is you typically ride with or vote for the person that you watch to play.
Yes.
Or you're part of.
Yes.
So you're partial to that piece. And I get it. I mean, it's a fair shake, but I mean, I see you over there shrugging your shoulders.
I'm going through it in my mind.
You know what I mean? You don't went through 1960 to 20, 60 years.
I literally
got
have
100 dudes in his head. Give me something.
Because I'm starting inside out. I mean, just based on these guys' nimbleness, if that's a word.
You got Rick Smits on your list.
I might have to start out with the Dream at the 5. Play a guy like TD. TD at the 4.
Pip.
Bron at my 3.
Which one? Are you mixing teams?
What year Bron got into the league? 03.
03. I said 20.
Larry Joe Bird at my 3 then.
That's what I'm saying.
You got
okay,
obviously.
So Larry Joe Bird.
Mike at my 2.
Tim Duncan.
Dream.
My MJ.
At my 2.
Oh, you got Mookie Blaylock at your 1. That's your boy.
That's my guy. Darren Blaylock is my
You
guy.
messing Mookie, but no, that ain't your point.
I'm a Terrell Brandon guy too. I'm a Tim Hardaway guy.
You ain't putting him on your.
I might put Grant Hill at my 1 just to go big. I'm sorry, Penny Hardaway at my 1.
I was about to say, well, you being
Penny Hardaway at my 1.
So that's yours?
Yeah.
Let me.
Give me your pre.
So where did I go? I went Penny 1, Mike 2, Larry Joe Bird 3.
You can't go wrong.
Tim Duncan 4, Dream 5.
Give me yours.
Kareem the pivot, regardless.
I was thinking about Jabbar.
Leading scorer of all time.
Who's the leading scorer of all time?
Kareem.
Are you sure?
Should be.
He definitely is.
Should be considered the greatest player of all time.
So you telling me there's a record? So Michael Jordan is not the leading scorer of all time?
Man, stop it! Don't start that, Coach. Finish your 5, man.
Are you being serious?
You don't have your tuxedo on.
No, I got you.
You don't have your tuxedo
That's
on.
for another
Michael
show.
Jordan is not the leading scorer of all time?
Man, stop it. Kobe Bryant passed him and LeBron.
No, there's no way those guys can pass.
Yeah, Mike like
No.
5 or 6 now.
No, I refuse to believe that.
I got Kareem in there because to watch him play and throw that sky hook,
Let me interrupt.
Go ahead.
About Kareem.
Yeah.
So, 1987, I'm 11, 12. Talking to my uncle, I'm like, this dude here, dog, like, he just gonna do the same little dumb move every time. They're not gonna stop it.
That's how you was talking?
Yeah, I was like, he got the
I
George,
laughed because I heard this story.
he got the George Jefferson, he going ball. I'm like, well, what is this?
Yeah.
Man, they played the Celtics on a Sunday afternoon. He must have had 39, 18 rebounds, 4 blocks.
Hey, did he do the sky look at UCLA?
Yes.
Yeah. Listen.
He started in high school.
Matter of fact, let me read.
You know how I remember Kareem, right?
Wow.
One of my favorite guys, Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The
He
poster
studied
with
with
the-
Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
He studied
He
with
did
him, and he had the little scene in the movie.
Yeah.
Bro, Kareem got a couple fights on the YouTube.
Kareem liked that.
But let me change my pivot man.
Uh-oh.
What you going, Dolph Shays?
I'm changing my pivot man to Lou Alcindor.
Oh, that's somebody different.
No, that's Kareem.
Well, for
Before he
Nick.
changed his
So
name.
For Nick.
Nick. I got
Because he was Alcindor in Milwaukee with the
so
big
Lou
O.
Alcindor, one game in college he lost. Didn't lose none. I don't think in middle school, high school.
I think they lost. When I was watching the PG in the water
Yeah,
special, I
yeah.
think they lost to a team from Maryland.
Did they?
Yeah.
Okay. Must have been he was sick that night.
Had to be.
But anyway, so he in my pivot. All right.
Lou Alcindor.
Okay. So now I'm
Like
gonna
I
take.
said that here, my pivot.
Yeah, that's old school. Yeah,
That's-
my pivot.
Front court and back court. No, my pivot. My bad, coach. My bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, my pivot. I
Go ahead,
love
coach.
that.
I love
boy.
that.
So now I'm gonna surprise you a little bit. I got to have Larry Joe Bird on one of them on that
three?
little small forward.
He was my 3.
That
He
little
ain't
small
mine.
forward.
I mess with him, but he ain't mine.
No.
Nah.
No. Okay. I got to have him over there. My power forward. I'm probably gonna call Malone. With the quickness, the banging, little nasty Southern boy.
He'll throw an elbow at you now.
Yeah. And then my guards. I'm a Magic fan. I love me some Magic, but the Big O was before Magic to me.
Right.
Ooh.
I got to have the Big O.
Let me just say, finish your 5, and we
Yeah,
got
I
to
got
come
to
back
have
to
the
the
Big O, and then I need a 2 guard.
You got to, come on. It's not even. Are you kidding me? MJ, fadeaway, perfect. Like, Coach ain't even got to say it.
Listen, man. Listen, and I done left Doc off. I done left,
ABA dog.
yeah, ABA Doc. Y'all ain't
Let
know
the
Doc.
young
Y'all
fella-
ain't know
let the young
ABA
fella
Doc
know
about
ABA dog.
ABA Doc
Not the
about
old man we
34
saw
a
in
night.
Philly.
About 34 a night. Listen, man, the 2 guard, I can go a lot of different ways. I probably got to go Mike, though.
Oh, I mean, I know you can go a lot of different ways.
I mean, I could go Tracy McGrady, who almost 6'10", who Mike definitely can't bottle up.
Tracy
I could go that.
Tracy had my 3.
Okay. Well, let's get it straight. Don't
But
act like Mike.
now, if I sit here long enough, I can come up with another 5.
But Tracy came in the league in
97.
97.
97.
So mine is.
I ain't that hyped on him.
Tracy?
Well, for the first 9 years of his career,
Jones, he was ice cold. The homeboy
Kenny
was ice cold.
Hardaway,
No, I ain't say he
Michael
wasn't tough.
Jordan,
Right.
Tracy McGrady,
Hold
Tim
on.
Duncan,
He ain't gave us
and
his
Hakeem
one.
Olajuwon.
He didn't give us his one.
He did.
Yeah,
He
he
gave. Yeah, he did.
Who?
Big O.
Big O.
Oh, that's a murderer's row right there,
That
boy.
was my 5.
Who?
You heard it. I got a 6'7" PG.
He got a 6'9" PG.
Yeah, 6'9". PG. I got him, Jay.
Right.
That guy. I got McGrady at the 3.
That's tough.
Auburndale Flawless.
That's tough juice there, boy.
Tim Duncan at the 4. And Sweet Feet at the 5. Hakeem Olajuwon.
All right, so we done
And,
gave
and
up.
one of my favorite players growing up was Scottie Pippen. But I'm sorry, but Pippen couldn't do what
Pippen,
McGrady did.
no.
Yeah, so we done gave out now. What's the days?
Ooh. Well, we all have a universal golden child. Who was LeBron?
LeBron.
LBJ.
LeBron, Durant.
You got Durant in there?
Yeah, I gotta take the. I gotta take me
What
a
they call the
7-foot
Slim
guard.
Reaper?
I gotta take the Slim Reaper.
Yeah.
You got Slim Reaper. So who you got?
Yeah.
CP3 at your PG?
I may go Brown at my PG.
So are we naming?
I may go Brown
top
at my
5,
PG.
or are we naming?
No,
the
I'm
5 best players
I'm
of
giving
20?
you my Braun at my 1.
So this decade.
Right, Braun at my 1.
Okay.
The Slim Reaper at 2.
Okay.
I put Giannis on my wing.
I don't have Giannis in mind.
Oh yeah, put him on my wing. I'm just going as big as I can go right now. If I'm putting Giannis, I might as well put Ben Simmons because come back to me.
Just a little. Coach, give me something, Coach.
Come back.
It's
to me.
hard for me right now because I know Bron in there. And then what I do with him be where I pick everybody else. Because I don't know if it is no centers right now. Any centers right now?
It's a couple.
Excuse me, any pivot?
Any pivots?
No, it ain't no pivots. But
Any
you got to get
pivots?
2000. Ain't no pivots.
No.
Not back to the basket guy.
No,
Like that.
again, that's how much it's done changed.
Just
man.
a change.
So what we have to go like
A guy that got
Orlando.
drafted number 1, Coach, at 7 feet from Toronto, acting like what was the kid name? Banyani?
Andre
Banyani. He did nothing but shoot threes.
So can we go like Orlando Magic Dwight Howard? Do we have to be that specific?
That might be
No,
the
you don't have
closest
to
you
be.
get.
Dwight, can we hold on? Everybody on this panel, is Dwight Howard not a Hall of Famer based off what he's done?
Easily.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Easily.
But because of what he's done on the latter part of his career, people forget
forget.
how special this kid was coming in.
Yes. Listen, anytime you made a jump from high school, be a number 1 pick and you a star.
How many defensive player of the years did he win?
I think 2.
Might be like 3 or 4.
Okay,
and that alone.
I can stand corrected, but I think
And I'm
it's 2
not.
or 3.
I think it's like 3. I think it's maybe 3 or 4. I can't remember.
Need that, Nick.
Let me ask you this.
Defensive player of the years for D. Howard.
Because it's hard for me right now because I see Bron, I see Kyrie not really a point. See, you got a lot of dudes right now that call points, but the way they shoot the ball, points ain't shooting like that as much. Points with distributors, set the flow. You see what I'm saying? Now,
I know where you at, Coach. I mean,
All right, I'm off the fence. I'm gonna go on and say it. I'm then.
okay, I know you
Because I think a guy like Mark Price would come in and
yes, sir.
destroy
Yes,
right
sir.
now.
Yes, sir.
Well, he'll do what Steve Nash did.
No, it'd be a
He's
little
better
worse
Steve Nash.
because he's getting buckets.
He was better than
I think
Steve
Terrell
Nash.
Brandon would come in and
What about
kill
Mitch
right
Richmond?
now. Oh, the Rock.
What about Glenn Rice? What about Glenn Robinson?
Fort Lauderdale's finest, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Mitch Richmond.
Dwight Howard had 3 defensive player of the year.
Yeah, he a Hall of Famer.
Mississippi.
but
So,
see-
so you mean to tell me from 20 years, from 2000 to now, we can't name 5 guys?
Yeah, we can.
We can, but
We can. I mean, we haven't, but we can.
I think we all convoluted about some of their contracts. That's probably.
No, man. I ain't no hater like that, Reed.
I mean, you got some guys that have made 250 that ain't never won nothing.
it ain't gonna win nothing.
So it's James Harden in your top 5 in the player of the decade.
I mean, if I was starting a team, he wouldn't be a starter.
We just easily named 5 guys from 80.
Cause that's our
to
era.
2000.
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you now.
That's our era.
I'm not.
So all you got is Golden Child and Slim Reaper?
That's it. That's all I got. I'm not a fan of Harden. I ain't saying he can't. I ain't never seen nobody shoot it like that deep with somebody in your face like that. I never seen
Listen.
nothing like that. But I ain't no fan of this game.
You got to put Curry in there. You have to. You have to. Name somebody better in the last dub.
In the last 20 years?
In the last 20 from 2.
LeBron.
No, I'm talking about.
What you mean, no?
I'm talking about the
LeBron.
guys we mentioned. I'm talking about name somebody, not the 2 that's already on there. We got Slim Reaper and LeBron.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
And Curry.
Yeah, you got to put Steph on there.
You said Giannis.
No, I'm taking Giannis off.
I definitely ain't putting Giannis on there.
No Anthony Davis.
Oh, I forgot about AD. Yeah. Jones, I could go AD before I go Kyrie, who's always
I ain't
hurt.
saying Kyrie.
No, but that's his guy.
Here's my problem. It's hard for me to name dudes, man. You hurt. It's always something.
Oh, I'm tripping. I got Kobe at my 3. I got to switch mine. I'm tripping.
Yeah.
I got Kobe at my
But
3.
now,
Mike at the 2.
now,
I'm tripping.
but see what happens?
That's on me.
See what happens? We talking about
Kobe. My bad.
we talking about today, right
on
now.
me.
You get caught up in the moment. I'm telling you, fellas, if you
But-
look
but-
back
but-
at that
but-
ABA, man, there's some dudes, man, that could score that rock.
But I literally watched, like I dissected Kobe and McGrady at once upon a time for like a 5-year span, boy.
Who's the more offensively skilled?
Oh, come on, man. Auburndale.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Kobe said, Kobe was like,
will tell you that.
Kobe was like, he can do everything I can do, but he's like 6'10".
Yeah.
That's tough.
I can't believe I mean with all this mind, with all this great mind around me, we ain't got 5 guys from 20.
I mean, let me ask you this,
I
Jones.
can't give you 5 because it's just a hodgepodge of dudes that ain't winning, ain't dominating.
Oh, we got to go Dame Lillard, Jones.
Dame is tough, man. I like Dame.
I mean,
So I'm gonna say
a guy if he doesn't
Curry.
get, no, let me say this, real. If a guy if he don't get hurt, are we still talking about Steph Curry the way we are if Gilbert Arenas don't get hurt?
Yes.
You know who was
Yes.
tough, man? What's my
Yes,
man in
we are.
Portland with the bad knee?
Brandon Roy.
Yes, sir.
But see, but that was, you know,
But them
A
knees
power
ain't
guard.
last. Power
look at
guard.
Penny. The conversation is totally different
Yes.
about top 5 of all time and Penny don't
Penny
get
don't
hurt.
get hurt.
Yeah, no question.
Yeah.
So now, longevity play a role.
That's what. But that's so.
You know, I heard somebody say the other day, talking about, well, LeBron, he just gonna hang around and
Wait. The longevity being a positive does not apply for LeBron.
I noticed that.
That's that Michael Jordan math.
I noticed that, but I'm gonna let you.
It don't apply. That doesn't. So the fact that he's done
I ain't in
something
that one, Coach, because I'm
seven-
with him 100%.
Yeah.
for 17 years, when Michael did nothing
Yeah.
for 10 years consecutively,
That's
when
what
I
I'm
say
saying.
nothing, he didn't play in the NBA for 10 straight years
Yeah.
ever.
No, they only count the years he won.
So don't not.
You know he didn't win till he
Hey,
was
so-
not above 500 until Pippen got
Oh, I
there.
don't believe that, Coach Jones.
So look, we got a little blockage, but man,
I don't believe that.
We named the elite guy from.
You telling me
2000
Michael
on.
Jordan was losing games at one point?
We gonna listen. Let's stay on task. Stay on task. We gonna name, but because say what you want to say. We've had a guy average a triple double.
Let's do our all.
This is a triple double what it used to
Don't
be.
do it,
Yes,
Jones.
Coach.
Don't do it, Jones.
Listen
Don't
now,
do
hold
it,
on.
It's not
Jones.
what it used to be, but it's impressive.
'Cause
To
the triple-
average it for a season.
Jones.
Listen,
2 of them.
when you shooting that many threes, you get longer rebounds. Longer rebounds, guards get more involved.
Yeah, but coach, if it was that easy,
Jones,
then
a
somebody
triple
else would
double
do it.
nowadays is like 4,000 yards passing in the NFL.
Man, you is
It's not
out
that
your
big of a deal.
mind. If you out your,
I'm just
Listen,
joking,
don't
folks.
do that.
But it's,
Don't do that.
I mean,
but I'm talking about. I'm just trying to to give those that are listening something from 2000 on, because there's a lot of young guys that listen to our show,
Gotcha.
right?
Oh,
And-
yeah.
And for us to sit here and say we don't have no one when you have
No.
Westbrook, when you have CP3,
No.
when
I
you
can't
have
take a
Giannis,
dude-
when you have.
Mario, I cannot take a guy shooting 30-something
Listen,
% from the
I'm
field,
just naming
just
guys.
running up and down the court.
I'm just naming.
I can't take that, Coach Jones.
I mean, I'm a little bit younger, but I'm just naming guys. When you
Okay.
look at Anthony Davis, when you look at Devin Booker, when you look at all these young guys that are doing it at a high level in today's game, you got to give me 5 to compete against yesterday's.
It
5.
won't be some of them guys you just
No, I'm
named.
just saying, but I'm saying you got to give me 5. We got to come up with 5.
Okay, LeBron,
So we got LeBron. We got
Slim Reaper,
We got Slim Reaper.
Anthony Davis,
We got Anthony Davis.
Dame Lillard,
Dame Lillard. That's
Steph Curry.
Steph Curry.
You know what I just realized sitting here?
I actually like that 5 I just named.
You know what I realized just sitting here?
Mine might be a little different.
I might be an old hater.
Oh,
Oh man. Oh man. Hey,
This-
here versus now. There it is. So it's now time to transition.
no.
Yes. No.
We got it.
No.
Hold on, I got 2
No.
things. Okay, we'll transition
I might
for,
be an old hater.
for a second. Let's transition.
He's a whole hater.
This is
He just
a,
admitted it.
this is a guy that never gets mentioned ever, and you got to be a basketball head to remember this guy. And Coach Jones is a basketball head, and he got a couple mango seasons on me and Mario. Remember when Brad Sellers was a 7-foot guard?
Yes, sir. He was considered soft, and that's how they,
They
play
ran him
now.
out the league.
He was considered soft.
He was
and
literally
that's how they
a
play now.
7-foot skilled guy who they would call soft
Yeah.
because he could handle, hit the jumper, hit the pull up, hit the runner. He was super skilled, and they called him soft.
Yeah.
Had Brad Sellers been born 10 years later,
He'd be amazing right now. You know what? Let me fix something real quick because I don't want nobody. I'm not an old hater.
No,
But I
Coach.
definitely.
nah, he ain't no old hitter.
I definitely, because I said to starting out, man, let the young dudes do their thing, whatever. It just ain't my piece of, Slim Reaper, Durant, the rest of them cats, put them in a bowl, shake them up.
But you got Melo. You got
my God,
You know what I'm
no.
saying? Like you like see that. I'm just trying to help y'all right now because for me,
Yeah, like we-
I'm in yesterday. but I'm also in today too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you got a lot of guys. That, I mean, we mentioned AI in the mid, but it's
The
just your
90s,
five.
yeah.
But like 2000 on, no
Yeah.
Melo.
Yeah,
You forget
Melo. I gotta.
Like,
Melo, boy, that Melo tough, boy.
I'm
I'm talking about tougher than a $2 steak,
You
boy.
kidding me?
Melo is tough.
Melo tough.
Let me just say this.
I mean, hold on, Dirk. Like we tripping.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But again, hold on.
If
let me
it's
just
my
say-
short-term memory or what, but I just be
But let
drawing
me-
a blank. Like until he said, I'm like, oh
say,
yeah,
yeah.
Dirk,
Yeah,
Melo.
but I just and then you have and it's hard, and the reason why I didn't say much about like guys that's been in the league just 3 years, but Luka Doncic is on his way, bro. Like there are guys that we ain't see this level of skill set then.
Luka Doncic is on his way in this NBA.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, but that sound like old hater though. That sound like old hater.
And I love it because he's slow. He's super fundamentally sound.
Yeah.
Like Luka Doncic, his game can be taught. Like you can't teach like what's my man used to Ricky Davis.
Yeah.
You got a 43-inch vert. I can't teach that.
Yeah, but I
but
mean,
everything
but
that
then-
Luka does can be taught.
And it's a lot of young men that loves Kyrie game. I think Kyrie game is not you can't mimic what he does, his layup package and all of that. But go look at
Why
the
don't
numbers.
you think you can mimic what he's doing?
But go look at the
Because
numbers.
but he's mimicking what Rod Strickland did.
Yeah, but him and my guy for the Celtics, my point guard, what's his name? Kemba. Numbers for the first 8 years of their career like identical.
But what
See,
you told
and
me,
I
the
take
media.
Kemba.
They're right. They identical.
I'll take Kimber.
Right. So in a lot of, but that's Boston took Kemba.
I'll take Kimber. Cause let me ask you this: what exactly has Kyrie done
Since he hit the shot.
before then?
Well, I'm just saying
Before
since he
LeBron
hit that
got there,
shot.
He won 17 games. We ain't gonna beat Kyrie now. We ain't gonna beat Kyrie now. We ain't gonna do that.
What 17 games one year?
Yeah, 17. Before
He was supposed to take him to the promised land. He was the number one pick. He ain't did nothing. Now Brown came, things changed for him, and he hit the shot. He ain't did nothing since then.
I think it's safe to say it's that sports is transitioning, trending in the right direction.
Oh, without a doubt.
Athletically,
Yeah.
economically,
Yeah.
it's changed a lot.
Yeah.
Us being from the era that we are, I think we can make a valid argument on both sides of what you would do. So you take a team, the ultimate team. If you took the 72, was that 72 Dolphins?
Yeah.
Oh, the undefeated team.
That won it all versus the 16-0 Patriots who lost. What team would you pick? You know what I mean?
Obviously the new guys,
Right.
but I will say this on the football side, since you brought up football, a guy like Eric Dickerson, running backs from the '90s, they would feast today, because you can't get hit.
Oh no, yeah, you can't. You definitely can't.
Not that you can't get hit, and I'm gonna say something else about the rules in the NFL, and you see the flag come flying out. This gonna sound like an odd take. I get it though. Somebody's gonna get hurt.
Oh yeah.
Because like
Yeah,
literally,
I mean,
somebody
you
like
look at the
even if you look at
physicality
football
of
from like the early 2000s,
a Dominic and Sue, like the pounds of pressure he can hit with. Congratulations to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for getting to the Super Bowl.
Most definitely.
You know what I mean?
Way to go, Bucks.
Tampa,
Way to go, Bucks.
Hey,
Yes,
I'll
sir.
say
Tampa.
Hey,
Okay.
And I'm not a Tampa fan. Go Eagles.
Right.
But
But I see the need for the rule changes in the league. Somebody is
yeah,
going to get hurt.
It's different. It's different. The guys are. It goes back to the BFS, man. Bigger, faster, stronger.
But you know, we talking about this, and just to throw in the other sport, you got Sampras, or you got Bjorn Borg. You remember Bjorn Borg?
Yes, Ivanisevic. You know what I mean? But
Going even-
Serena Williams will destroy.
Oh no.
What's my
That's-
girl name? With the hyphenated
you pick
name?
With the hyphenated name, I can't even think of her name.
What's my girl? Chris Everett Lloyd.
Destroy. Like, come on. Like we need to get on the I mean, we know Cheryl Miller can probably play in today's WNBA.
Oh,
It'll
no
be
question.
murder.
Murder.
No
You know what I'm saying? So we didn't get a chance to get into that because you know what I mean. Somebody want to talk about MJ fadeaway perfect, but I won't get into that. Today's segment,
Well, folks, we gonna wrap this
I
up.
never forget
Oh,
on you.
let the OG go first.
No, go ahead.
Because he came from here with that. I'm an old hater. That took a lot. My OG.
I ain't no hater. I like the young boy too. It's just different. It's just different, man. And I remember with the times I came from.
Right.
I never forget, man. At TC, man, playing, had some good memories in that. I got a ton of memories on a lot of things, but we keep going back, and I never forget the first game playing varsity as a sophomore, because they ain't let freshmen play varsity. And you come in, man, the JV playing, you getting ready, you smell the popcorn, because they used to actually have a concession stand right there. We come out our locker room past the concession stand and the popcorn and all that. I never forget that. And I never forget, they used to give us back in the day, we would get cardboard schedules that Pepsi would make for you. And they'd have a dude on there shooting a layup or something, and then you have your schedule and all that. And I remember my girlfriend, who's my wife, she used to keep my points on there and rebounds for each game. And she kept it for me, and then one day on my birthday, she surprised me, and she had the damn cardboard thing and put it in a frame with some pictures on the side. And I never forget that.
That's why I love the word woman.
Yeah,
Sing it, Reed.
Oh, I love.
Sing it.
So I never forget a lot of that. And
That's what happened.
every time I go in my little piano room, man, and I see the cardboard thing out in the frame, and
Right.
I almost could smell the popcorn, man, coming
Yes,
out
sir.
of
Take
the
it
locker
back.
room.
That's beautiful. Grand
Take
piano.
it back, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
we talking about Jones.
Yeah, the grand piano.
Talking dollar bill.
Money longer than train smoke.
Literally longer than train smoke.
So that's my I never forget, man.
Devil D.
So
I'm going last today.
my I'll never forget is this is my sophomore year at Plant. This was Plant's last stand of the Roland Acosta era. Coach Jones remembers Coach Acosta. So my sophomore year, they went 9-1. Back then, you had to win the district to even get into the playoffs. So they went 9-1 and didn't make the playoffs.
Wow.
They had a guy named Brad Wakefield, about 5'8", 5'9", white guy. He ended up playing baseball at UT. So we at the Plant Jefferson game at Plant. Game goes into triple overtime. You know, Plant beats them, and it was just my first experience, like being on campus at Plant. That was like one of the first games I went to while I was going to the school, cause you know I was a kid,
Right.
like Big Keith. His dad, Keith Newman Sr. played, and we go to games when you were a little boy, you know, in the 80s. But like that game, that triple overtime, Plant versus Jefferson, like my first couple weeks on campus at Plant, I'll never forget it.
Nice.
Ever.
Mine comes from it's not sports related. It's more of a character building. I'll never forget when we talked about then versus now. So I'm gonna talk about some socks that we are, and I have a collection of socks right now. And still have this fetish.
You one of the best to do it now.
I do have a collection of socks.
Nick don't give you the credit, but you.
But I think we all wore these socks when you had the white socks with the ring.
Yes, sir. Come on up to the knee with you,
Come
please.
on up, yes sir, yes
you
sir.
please?
So I never forget my first package of those. My grandma bought me a pack. I was so excited.
They called them tube socks.
Tube socks. I had the red joints. I had the blue ones. I had the green ones. So when you grow up how I grew up, you have to cherish the small things. You know, you don't get much of nothing. So like I said, it's a character building moment for me. So I remember just putting the socks on. They felt good on my feet. I didn't put no shoes on. I'm just walking around the house like I'm swagging around the house. All my little cousins, they like, man, look at him when you walk around. I say, look here, man, you couldn't tell me nothing. I have on some fruit green socks, the greens. So my cousin Mark Hepburn, shout out to him, he started hating on my socks. We get into a little scuffle. He playing, my cousin was cat quick, you know what I'm saying? We get into a little altercation.
This don't sound like it's going good, man.
It wasn't
Not for the
going
big
good.
fella.
I run upstairs. He kind of dodged me. He grabbed my sock and ripped the top of my sock off.
Oh,
That's a fight.
So before
It's on.
before anything, right? Like I was like, oh, little baby.
Yeah.
I like, oh my God, I started crying first. So then when I caught myself, he running. I'm chasing him, top of the sock off, toes out. Then I couldn't catch him at first. I go to my grandma, I'm crying, Grandma, he ripped my sock.
Top of the
This,
sock,
that, and other. My
toes
grandma
off.
say, boy, if you don't take them socks off, throw them in the garbage, I bought you 5 pair. You kidding me?
You gotta relax.
So the green tube socks, they was ripped. So I had to throw them away the first birthday I had them on.
You'll never
I never
forget.
get my first pair of tube socks.
Man, tube sauces in. That's what it
Tube socks is the
was.
thing.
Well, folks, we ran a little bit over, but
Hey, 50 minutes, man. It got good, man. Then versus now. Keep it 199 ain't good enough. Please don't forget to like the video. Please subscribe at your leisure. Leave a comment. Subscribe to the channel. Remember, 99 ain't good enough. Well, we
keep it 100.
Honda.
See you.